Job chapter 23, verse 8 through 10. Job chapter 23, verse 8 through 10. If I go east, he's not there. And if I go west, I cannot perceive him. When he is at work to the north, I cannot see him. When he turns south, I cannot find him. Yet he knows the way I've taken. When he has tested me, I will emerge as pure gold. When God plays hide and go seek, when God plays hide and go seek, children have a most unique way of entertaining themselves. In spite of all the toys and the technology available to them, they still find pleasure in simple games like tag, Simon Says, red light, green light. Perhaps no other game is well known among children of every generation as the game we call hide and go seek. Even an infant will giggle with delight when playing peekaboo. But when God tries to play hide and go seek, somehow it just don't seem to be as fun. We kind of get frantic, we feel some type of way, we even throw pity parties. Ooh, why is it that when God plays hide and go seek with us, we have pity parties and throw tantrums? The reason is because God is a good hider. Job is simply furthering his claim of when God plays hide and go seek. You must understand that Job is replying to his friend Eliphaz's speech because Eliphaz has a speech in chapter 22 that tells Job, God will bless you if you stop sinning. And so Job is simply trying to further explain why he still has hope in God. And so he is simply saying God is playing hide and go seek. Watch what he says. He says, when I look for him, he's not there. If you look in the King James Version, he says, when I look on the left, he's not there. And when I look on the right, he's hiding, but I can't see him. And I want to know tonight, number one, why does God play hide and go seek with us? Why is it that God has to play mind games? Why is it? The devil would have you believe that God hides from you because he's either mad at you, ashamed of you, or he is trying to punish you. But God playing hide and go seek is not a punishment. It's not because he's mad at you. It's not because he dislikes you. Here it is. God hiding was simply the result of a challenge to Satan. God's answer to Satan's challenge began the game of hide and go seek from Job. But you see, God's confidence in his servant said, I may hide, but Job will never stop seeking. Woo! That's why Deuteronomy 4:29 tells us, but from there you will seek the Lord your God, and you will find him if you search for him with all your heart and all of your soul. Jeremiah 29:13 says, you will seek me and find me when you search for me with all of your heart. God playing hide and go seek with you is not a punishment. It's not embarrassment. It is not any of those sorts. To be honest with you, it is the challenge. It is a test. It is the answer to Satan's challenge against you. Remember, the Bible says that he put a hedge of protection around Job. And so God playing hide and go seek is simply his answer to this here. Hence why Job says, he hides and I cannot see him. But later on in the verse, Job says, but he knows the way in which I go. Ooh, that's why the Bible says, and the steps of a righteous man are ordered by the Lord. Ooh, that's why Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper and not to fail. It is development, not punishment, because I want to know, can you seek me diligently? Will you seek after me? That's why in the New Testament he says, ask and you shall be given, seek and ye shall find, knock and the door shall be opened. The why of why God plays hide and go seek is because he is answering the challenge that Satan has came upon and given you. But The Bible says that if you look for him with all of your heart and all of your mind, you will find him. Here, watch the text, because Job simply says, I know where he is, I just can't see it. Ooh, Job says, I look for him on the right hand, and that is where he's hiding, but I can't see it. Ooh, God. He explains his why, but then watch this. He also gives us direction on where to look. Nothing can be more frustrating than looking hopelessly for that missing item. You know you put it there, but someone must have come along and moved it. The older I get, the more I find the people move things from where I put them. But watch what Job says. Job says, behold, I go forward. The first place to look is in the most logical place to find him, forward. We start praying more, we start fasting, we start reading our Bible more. We move forward in our attempt to draw near to God, but he's not there. Did you realize that there's only direction that Job falsely stated he's not there? Study it out in the other three directions. Job says, I can't find him. Backwards, I can't perceive him. On the left, I can't behold him. On the right, I can't see him. But Job realized that if God is anywhere to be found, he's not out there leaving me behind. Y'all ain't with it. What are you saying, Pastor? Simply, you may have tried everything within your human power to find God, to draw close to him, to make connections with him, all to seem hopeless. The reason is simply because he's not there. My God is a God of invitation. He's not a God that runs away and leaves me falling behind because I can't keep up, and backwards, but I cannot perceive him. You'll never find him going in this direction. To the Jew, this meant facing the west, as forward always signified towards the eastern sky. You can look for him in the sunrise as well as in the sunset, but he's still playing hide and go seek. Don't believe me? Job doesn't just take his cue here. Watch, he also follows in the footsteps of Elijah, and Elijah says, I went to the same mountain that Moses went to. I listened to the same whirlwind that Moses listened to. I looked at the same fire that Moses looked at. I looked at the same earthquake, but he was not there. On the left hand where he doeth work, Job looks again in a direction where he knows God has been in the past. How many times have we returned to the place, whether a physical location or someplace in your spirit, where we knew God had visited us in the past, only to discover that he is not there? But behold, I cannot find him. He hideth from me on the right hand. The right hand was considered the south. This was a region that in Job's time was vastly unknown and unexplored. It was contained. The Arabian deserts, and beyond that, the uncharted seas of which the Hebrews had only heard. Job looked in even the direction of places he had never before explored. He tried things he never tried. He is desperate in this search for God that I cannot see him. And still, after all this seeking, God remains hidden to him. God is still playing hide and go seek. He says the why, he even says the where. Here is the beautiful thing about hide and go seek, is that while the seeker is looking for the ones that are hiding, the hider always knows where the seeker is. Y'all missed it. Job says, the reason why I am not afraid and I still have hope is not because I can't find him, but because he knows where I am. That's why he ends verse 10 saying, he knows the way in which I take, that he knows where I am, even when I can't see him and I can't perceive him and don't know where he is. Thank God he always knows where I am. And even in the midst of my troubles and my darkness, he always knows where I am. Here's why Paul says in Romans that he is persuaded that neither life nor death can keep him away from the love of God. Here's why he says, and we know that all things work together for the good of them that are called according to his purpose. That he will always find me. I may not always be able to find him, but he will always find me. Don't believe me? Elijah says it like this, that when I went to the mountain and I kept looking and looking, trying to find him, it wasn't until he spoke to me in a small, still voice that he found me. And let's be honest tonight, that there are some of you who felt like God was playing hide and go seek with you. But to be honest with you, you went searching, but it was him that found you. That in your hopelessness and your despair, he came and he found you. That when God plays hide and go seek, it is to earnestly see that you will seek him. But watch this, that he always knows exactly where you are. That's all I came to teach tonight, that when God plays hide and go seek, you must understand that why he plays. Because he is answering the challenge. But then you also got to know where to look. You've got to look everywhere. But lastly, you got to know that he will find you. That he will find you. He knows exactly where you are.